Hey y'all, this is El Thick Madame. Y'all, I made a video earlier about exactly what I'm about to discuss, but I think I said the second person's name incorrect to the point where I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Like I did the most, y'all. And I kept saying it over and over again, and I did not mean that. And people will probably think that I'm really like trying to say that about that person for real, but every single time this story comes up, for some reason I say his name instead of the name at hand. But anyway, before I get into that, I'm still gonna do it in the same order I did it before. So anyway, y'all, hope y'all have a wonderful day. So let's go ahead and get into this. This is gonna be a thoughts video. And so the first topic that I wanted to discuss was, I don't know if y'all heard about it or not, but apparently there has been a straight pride situation that has been created. And as soon as I heard about that, I instantly was like, oh, so this is another Black Lives Matter situation. You know, a certain group of people can't have something to themselves because other people want to say, oh, I want a piece of the pie too. We are included too. We're special too. And I'm just like, y'all let me know down in the comment section if y'all agree, because as soon as I heard that, that's exactly what I thought about. Because believe it or not, there are quite a few black people who don't understand what Black Lives Matter actually means, and it's ridiculous to me. I don't get it. I really don't get it. So anyway, it's just a lot, and I think it's stupid. And this is another, I want to be in the loop too. So as far as that is concerned, I'm just like, I just wish people would stop. Everything does not have to revolve around you. And just because you see other people doing something, that doesn't mean you have to be like, oh no, we're around too. Like, that is obvious. You see straight people all the time, TV shows and all, like, represented exceptionally well in all facets of life. So I don't understand why people do stuff like that. And to me, it's painfully obvious why pride and all these other things have come about. And then people, whoever decided that this was a bright idea to come up with, oh, let's do straight pride. It's just like, really? Just stop. Anyway, y'all, so the second thing that I wanted to discuss is what I kept messing up on, and that is about how Dwight Howard has actually spoken out and stated that he is not gay. Now, him saying the words, that's not new to me. You know what I'm saying? All I know is that scandal broke where a transgendered woman revealed herself and was talking about how they met and how they've been together, how they were spending time together, or something to that effect. They had been in contact with one another enough to where he was being ridiculed and people were reading him, and a lot of people feel as though he actually is gay or bi or whatever, possibly gender. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, for me, like I said, it wasn't something that was really news to me. It was just something that I was like, okay, after all the time that has passed, he has finally decided to say something in somewhat of a defense for himself, which I feel as though he didn't even have to. Because how long have we seen people like Queen Latifah like never come out and say, I am this, or you see her on the red carpet for real, like, hey, this is my girlfriend, or this is my boyfriend, or this is my whatever. Like, I don't believe I've ever seen a moment where it wasn't oh, she was out and about and we call her with this woman again, so we're speculating that she's lesbian and she plays these lesbian and gay roles too well, and like, you know, whatever. It's just a lot of people who they don't care to share, and they actually don't have to. So that's why I be looking at people sometimes like, okay, they didn't really have to say anything at all, but y'all need to calm down. Y'all doing the most. Y'all, my thing is this: whether he is or not, all I care about is are you playing basketball and are you playing it well? I mean, that's really the only, anytime I see him, I just see a basketball player. And a lot of people who are in the gay community have said that it doesn't surprise them. Like, I mean, as far as when the news first broke of finding out that there's speculation of him allegedly being gay or possibly in a secret relationship with a trans person and all this other stuff, and he might actually just be gay. And I'm just like, why is it even that deep? Like, it's 2019. I hate that has to be the example default answer that everybody has to go to, but that's really the situation here. It's 2019. Like, why are y'all surprised that these people are out here getting with whoever they get with? And it's not that serious, in my opinion. It's just not. It's not a deal breaker for me. Just like when there was just a slight hoopla about Lil Nas X, or however you say his name, coming out as being gay and stating that, oh, I thought it was obvious that I was gay. I don't know why I had to say it, but apparently didn't nobody know I was gay. And I'm just like, oh gosh, I don't care. But as far as these athletes and other people who are on celebrity statuses getting caught dealing with, in one way or another, these trans people and gay men or lesbian women, and it's mainly men who are getting caught with gay men or trans women. My thing is this: just accept it. The person themselves need to accept it, and the world just needs to accept it. If that's what it is, that's what it is. Now, if they got a whole family out here and they deceiving their family, then I get you trying to be like, how dare you, shame on you, why would you do that to this person, especially if it's like one of your favorite actresses or whatever. Y'all, perfect example, Bobby Valentino. Sir, I'm gonna need for you to just live in your truth, because it is very much so apparent that you have a thing for transgendered women. There is nothing wrong with that. There are people who live for transgendered women. Why is it every time that somebody catches you, like, let me do that, somebody catches you, you are in a compromising position where you are being filmed in some capacity by a transgendered woman? And it's like, in my mind, it's just got to the point where it happens so frequently that when it happens, I'm like, okay, I feel like he's doing this so that he can kind of stay relevant to some degree. But I'm like, why? You're Bobby Valentino. People have no problem with giving you a check here and there to appear on these Love and Hip Hop shows, and every now and again people do pay you for appearances or whatever else you actually do have going on, because apparently you are still relevant in some sort of way. And it's not that deep, but you can tell that he just must have a thing for transgender women. And I'm just like, just accept it. Stop trying to sit up here and act as if, well, I didn't know they were trans. It's like, why? Just say that that's what you're into, if that's what you're into. Like, it just is what it is. And another person, I don't care if some of y'all Black Ink Crew people try to get on me about this, especially if it's the person themselves. If you live for Black Ink Crew Chicago, the reason why Nikki left for probably was because of the transgender woman that he was talking to. And I feel like that's why he fell into his depression and all this other stuff, because he got found out. You know what I'm saying? He thought it was just a situation that was going to pop off. He liked what he liked, and he wanted to dibble and dabble, and then he got caught. People are about receipts. People are like, oh, they ain't going to believe I was with this person, so they will secretly record you. Some of these people will say, oh, no, I'm not going to let nobody see this. And then they will actually put it up on the internet for everybody to see. And it goes viral. So for living your truth, stop being depressed about who you really are, if that's what the situation is, because that's what it seems like it is. Because around that time, when all that stuff popped off with him and Nikki not being together no more, that's what that information is what was coming out. Not just because he had released nudes, or the person who the nudes were sent to was a transgender woman. It was a lot going on. So I'm just like, sir, living your truth. If that's what it is, don't sit up here just getting depressed about that. Live in your truth and you won't have to be depressed. You know, there are way more serious things in the world going on that people are seriously depressed about. And I understand them actually being depressed about that. You over here depressed because you don't want to live in your truth. Continue to go to counseling and live in your truth. That's all I got to say about that. So anyway, moving on to the last topic. Y'all, R. Kelly. Pretty sure y'all finally seen it. I'm pretty sure you've seen it by now. Not finally. I mean, it's been out. He was arrested. He was taken into custody, into police custody. He was living in the Trump Towers in his little condo with his girlfriends. And he was placed before a judge where he pled not guilty to the different charges that he was brought up on, and he was denied bail. And apparently he actually had shackles on while all this was going on. So I just want to know, since all this stuff is going down, and it actually looks like he's really going to go down this time, like forever in jail, in prison, in somewhere, forever. He really going to go down for all this stuff. The charges and stuff are going to stick this time. I have like 2 things that I want to talk about and discuss. I really want to know, are all of the people who were involved, no matter how small of a role they played, are they going to go down for it too? That's the first thing I want to discuss. And I am referring to specifically Andrea Kelly, Aaliyah's folks, meaning her mama and her uncle, and anybody else who was related to her or friends with her who did the most, knowing how he was and what he was doing when he was dealing with her. The dude who forged stuff to make it look as though she was of age when she wasn't, and the 2 of them got married. Who else? Sparkle. I said what I said. I don't care, because your niece was way too young for you to be sitting up here doing the most. And then when it got to a certain situation, you should have been able to yank her up. You were old enough to be like, yeah, you might not be my child, but you my niece. And you would have, if it had been me, I would have yanked my niece up out of there. Why are you sitting up here doing the most and not doing what your duty as an aunt was to be like, okay, this situation ain't right. And you already said out of your own mouth that you seen how he interacts with these other girls. So what makes you think your niece gonna be different? All because you were supposedly his protege after Aaliyah passed away. What makes you think you're so special? You know that she fits the bill. So why would you think it's okay for him to be around her? So girl, you one of the first ones, need to be right up in there in the women's section, right along with him for however long he gonna be up in there too. Because I said what I said, and the parents. Most, if not all, the parents need to be charged because all those girls were underage. And I feel as though it should have been as simple as, if it really was how they trying to get on the TV and make it seem like it was, oh, he got my daughter, oh no, I'm a real parent. Let me go to the police and say, this grown man, despite the fact that he is Robert Kelly, has my child. My child is 16 years old. My child is 15 years old. My child is 17 years old. And I do not consent to them being with him. I want my child out of his custody. I know where they are. A lot of times they sat up there and they said they knew exactly where they were. You know all of this. You could have took that to the police. You could have had them to go with you, escort you to the houses and the studios and all the other places where he had them held captive, and been like, run me my child. Run me that, instead of saying run me that money. Because I feel like a whole lot of upset up there and was like, run me that money. And then the money been running dry a little bit lately because Andrea Kelly been sitting up here wanting back child support when most, if not all, the kids grown now. Even though child support, if it's old, it's old. Ain't gonna, knock her hustle as far as that is concerned. But she trash in the sense of, at first I thought she was all right when we first were introduced to her when she was on, what's that TV show? Hollywood Exes. I literally did not even know R. Kelly had a wife until I saw her on that show. But anyway, y'all, I'm just looking like all y'all need to be charged. All of y'all. Everybody who knew that he had a preference and you sat up there, especially the people, a lot of those men who he would send ahead of him when he would be in certain buildings at certain functions, when he was going to McDonald's all the time, after school got out and all that, all the places that he was going, and he knew that the children that he lived for were going to be up in there. He was sending them people ahead of him like, hey, go get this, go get, you know your job. And they was going and getting phone numbers and being like, Robert Kelly wants to see you at his party later on tonight, and all this other stuff that they was doing. When y'all was going through, all of y'all need to go to jail too. All y'all need to go to prison right along with him. Said what I said. I said what I said. So everybody need to go to jail, go to prison, wherever they need to go, because all of them need to be held accountable. And I done got to the point where I think that the Savages, they just wanted a reality TV show. They wanted their 15 minutes of fame and then some. And it's just a lot of these people that at times I would believe them. But then it's like they've been lying for so long that I had to try to see through stuff. Tasha K had a live last night where she had Azriel's daddy on there. And I haven't seen all of it because I had other things to do amongst going to sleep as well. But I'm going to watch it later. But it's just a lot going on. And I don't know if I believe him and his wife were steadily trying to get her back before she became of age and all that stuff. So that's why with the first thing that I was saying, I want to know who all the people were who are handing over all this stuff all of a sudden. It's like, oh, now y'all know how to hand over hard, concrete evidence of the things he's been doing, but y'all couldn't do this how many years ago? Anyway, all y'all need to go to jail. All y'all need to go to jail. Go to prison, wherever, somewhere. Second thing I want to discuss is I don't know. We've heard about, now I don't know if this is a rumor, if this is really true or what. I've heard that if Robert Kelly goes down and is in prison or locked up for whatever, and it's set in stone, oh, he going to jail, that all of the women that he is involved with, everybody who is considered to be his girlfriend and all the other stuff, they have a pact, and all the girlfriends are going to, they have some kind of sister pact or whatever it is, some kind of blood pact, and that they are supposedly going to kill themselves. I'm wondering if really this really is going to be a Jim Jones, is that what that man's name was? If that's really one of these cult situations that might be going down. So I'm curious to know if that's something that's really going to happen too once he go down, because they sat up there, and once he was arrested, the Savage girl, I think it was Jocelyn and Azriel, made a recording, and TMZ picked it up, and they were saying, we're fine, we didn't get evicted, and we're still here in Trump Towers, here's our view, whatever, and all this other stuff. And it's a lot of stuff that's going on, but these are the few things that I want to discuss. So y'all let me know what y'all think about all these latest crazy things that's been going on. Anyway, I hope y'all are having a wonderful day, and I will talk to y'all next time. Bye.